Greetings everybody, welcome to a replay overview of a 1 versus 1 I played earlier as Horror of Babylon against Nicolae Ceaușescu. This was ranked. Ideally this would have been a retrospective analysis, but since I didn't record this match, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a replay overview, I guess you could say. I played a couple of ranked games recently, but I'm just not recording a lot of stuff nowadays. I think this was a fairly interesting game, at least I hope so. Let's do it from my point of view though this time. I'm playing Eurocorps, but I slightly changed some things. Let's wait until the game starts. I did some slight alterations, just testing stuff out, how they work out. What I basically did is I replaced one card of Ace F's, the Rafale, with the Mirage, the Napalm Mirage plane. I replaced the Panzergren 90 in the 5-pointer and the Rima 85 in the Panther with 2 cards of Panzergrens in the Marder 1. I replaced the AMX-10 in the Tank tab with a Leopard 1A4. I replaced my Infantry CV with a Leopard 1 CV. And I believe that's it. Which is not really, in terms of amount of changes, not really much, but it changes the playstyle of this deck quite a bit, I would say. I don't really rely as much anymore on Panthers, which, depending on what deck the enemy plays and what map you play on, is really helpful. Although, of course, sometimes the Panthers can be really nice. And the Mirage, it can be nice. In a match against Nick earlier, it was really helpful. Small spoiler, I think it wasn't really that much on this one. But yeah, so fairly standard plan. I go for Delta with most of my stuff. I have a Leclerc, 2 Marder 1s with Panzergrens. These AMX-13s go for the right. This is CV for Foxtrot, of course. 2 AMX-10s just to catch everything weird that might go there. Milan 3 for this town and there. Brutal for this area, Roland 3 for this area. 1 Commander's Para Scout for these hedgerows. It's always good to have a scout in one of these. You either want it here, so you can also spot stuff that might drive down the road, or you want it like in these hedgerows. Just in one of these hedgerows, it's always good to have one. And they're very hard to get rid of. And you always want to have something on the one of these hedgerows here, because if you just stand here, I wish I could do flares here, but if you are standing here, you don't spot what is down there. Gazelle Cannon as always opening, and 1 AMX-10 for the right side as well, and I believe that's pretty much it. Yeah, he and I more or less knew that, since this is the only deck I saw him play, is of course playing Entente, opening with an L17, which he also nearly always does, which is also why I didn't start with the Tiger, because I was expecting that, and losing 120 points at the start is not over nothing is not really great. Now I see 1 Hera here, 1 Hera here. This Hera I should have no problem catching with the Crotal before it can kill my CV. There we go. The other Hera I haven't, I don't know where it is, but the Leopard will definitely survive, but I still buy some weasels because you never know what might fly around. Let's skip a bit ahead. I immediately buy a Jupiter for a Crotal, because if your Crotal runs out of ammunition, it can be really awkward sometimes. I also buy Leopard 1F4. The Leopard 1F4, oh yeah, move it to the right. Leopard 1F4 is basically one of the best things you can have against Entente, also the Hera here appearing. The Leopard 1F4 is basically a pure fire support and infantry fighting vehicle destroyer. You don't really go for tanks with that, unless like maybe some... It might be decent, or it's probably gonna be pretty decent against AMX-10s, but other than that, you don't really want to engage tanks with that, unless of course you're like overwhelming them at close range, or you get side shots, of course, but in general, you don't buy them to kill tanks. And especially against this deck on this map, where there is a good amount of forest, but not a lot of deep forest, so you can shoot from the open into forest at like 1000 meter or more range. This is pretty much ideal. I think the only thing that might be better is basically an AMX-13 in the tank tab that doesn't have like a shitty gun and a shitty ATGM that you have to pay for, like the French one. But yeah, the Hera here is a bit infuriating because it might be able to kill my Iltis, so I'm moving back my Crotal. He's circling his L17, smoking here, so I more or less know he will probably come up this road or come down here. Weird that he smokes here. Usually you would smoke either there or there, from my experience. But this also signals me that he is very, very slow, so I'm moving my Legion 90 in there. Because ideally you don't want to be caught back here. If you get caught back in there and can't get out of there, it can be really, really annoying if the opponent uses artillery. Which you might have seen recently on a stream. Tab 71, just get one shot, but I don't believe... Oh, actually... it might be actually that there were still Padobrands inside that died, but it's unlikely. Tank there, which is a AV-Hor. AV-Hor versus Leclerc. AV-Hor should win on max range, I believe. On very close range, I should win. It's just a tab that it gets destroyed. VAB moving down there. The Crotal did kill the Hera. TB's very, very annoying. They're also very good on this map for the same reason the Leopard 1A4 is very good. It's not very great if you have to like go through forests. It's still gonna be very good, but with one armor you want to be at basically max range or nearly max range of this vehicle. And have infantry in front of you as meat shield. Now these Mechanisovana should not be a huge problem. Have Mother 1s, as far as bought AMX-10s. The Pentagrams are also superior. I also bought an LRM, firing 6 shots into this area just to panic the V-Horn and render it less powerful. Not the best LRM, but I think at least it scared him away a bit. Now unfortunately these PBs have line of sight in there, into there, which is very, very bad for me. As you can see, they just murder my Pentagrams. Also LRM here again, just to panic all this stuff. Not really to kill much, but panicking line infantry is really, really good if the enemy spams them, because it just makes them so much worse. I mean, of course, every unit gets a lot worse when panicked, but especially on line infantry, the effect is a lot more noticeable. Also, constantly smoking, because, yep, there it already is, this Super Gallop. Probably like definitely one of the best ATGM blades in the game. I think that's without a doubt. He shoots at my, or tries to shoot at my AMX-10s automatically just before he gets line of sight on my Leclerc. Move into the smoke. There's a V-Hor detract, but slightly damaged from the LRM. But yeah, nearly all of my infantry is dead. I can't really try to engage the V-Hor because I could get side shot here, which I obviously want to avoid. And the AMX-10 here got killed, so I'm trying to investigate what was going on. Svidjach most likely killed it, so I'm helping with the 1A4. Again, 1A4 pretty decent here for that, because it has just superior stats to that low-end T55. Unit 3 here did not yet do much, but if he doesn't do anything there, that's fine by me. That is yet again the Super Gallop, which you see him very often circling, even when he has no line of sight on the enemy Super Heavy, which is a double-edged sword, I guess you could say. On the one hand, your ATGM plane is a lot closer to the front line, and if the opponent only shows the Super Heavy for like 2 seconds, you have a high chance of still being able to fire off the ATGM missiles. But on the other hand, it allows your opponent to kill the Super Gallop potentially with a ATGM plane or even AA if he's just not careful enough, and that would and it would not be able to pay itself off by killing a Super Heavy. I noticed a VAB spotted, but it's not really much I can do. I get a Leopard 1A4 up with reservists and Mother 1s trying to get into these forests. Ordering my Roland 3, but that's not really doing much. V-Hor is moving up here. I should have noticed that earlier, and I believe That's another Vihor. I noticed too late that he actually now has 2 Vihors. I'm gonna spot the Vihor in a bit. And even by the... just by the... not camouflage, by the... you know, by opening the unit panel window and just looking at a model, I already see, alright, that's another Vihor. But I did not realize that it's not the same Vihor, but actually a new Vihor. Which will be a big problem later on. I bought a KWS, tried to go for the Gallop, but only get 1 hit on it, even though it is a crit though. But yeah, I evac because I most likely would not have been able to get a short range missile off. But at least it's damaged. I won't see it for quite a while unless he buys a new one, so as long as my KWS survives, that's still a good thing for me. I smoked the Vihor off to get my infantry into the buildings. I LRM this part again to suppress stuff before I attack, before I engage. That's the Vihor shooting. I'm smoking this. Oh no, it's actually the Isvidyach. But yeah, I should have not moved them up here into the open. I should have moved them into the forest there. Getting shot at. Is that the other Vihor? No, that's a Colossus. There's a new Super Gallop actually, so it's definitely very, very eager to kill my Super Heavy off my Liquor. Move it into the smoke, turn off the weapons, because in this case it didn't really help, but sometimes your tank is only visible because it just shot, especially when it is in cover. So sometimes it's useful to just turn the guns off so it doesn't shoot again, which sometimes is enough for it to become invisible after like a couple of seconds, even if you have no smoke or no cover there. But it wouldn't have mattered since he has scouts there, so turning off the gun would have made no difference. But you know, better safe than sorry. It killed Mother 1. It did unfortunately got out, but oh no, I actually kill it. Right, that's the first one. I kill it with the Roland and the Crotin, which is very fortunate for me. So now I know, alright, one is dead, the other one is still repairing, not gonna see that for a while. And I can be a bit more aggressive with my Liquor. Which, funnily enough, just got a tiny bit of damage by driving through this patch of fire. But it's not gonna affect much. Effectively, this is still 10 HP, even though it displays it as 9 HP. It's like 9.999 HP or something along those lines. Just like not really doing much. Again, 1A4 to kill those IFVs. One shots PBs with 12 AP. Very helpful. Moving up the Grotal against the MI-17, nothing too surprising. Going a bit deep to the deep with the KWS, but when I engaged the Super Gallop, I noticed he has only 1 AA piece here, and it was also not shooting from afar, so it must have been a Strela 10M or a Sava basically. Although it could have been an OSA as well, just looking at a missile model, but the fact is he doesn't have a lot of AA there, to my knowledge. So I'm moving up. The Mother wants the VABs behind. They have very good autocannons. Ensorgrants have no trouble dealing with this. And here's the... I'm not sure. I think this is like the first time when I actually realized, oh shit, he has 2 Vihors. And I'm not sure if I don't remember if I actually realized those were both the 170 point Vihors. Because sometimes you just ignore the A at the name and don't realize it's the 170 point and not 130. But the thing is, I tried to get a few shots off on the Vihors. Got one shot off but didn't hit. And got the 1A4 here, but they're probably 90, which so I'm retreating. Went for the L17K and kill it, but my KWS gets hit unfortunately. Each 90 is getting shot at by the PBs and the Vihor, which is not good. I think in a bit I'll try to... yeah, now I LRM and I also buy a Mirage to napalm and panning all that shit there. I think, yeah, at this point I think I'm reversing here and try to go for the Vihor, which I see here. Oh, actually I'm driving there. So I'm napalming this. Unfortunately, his MiG-29 gets 1 missile off, so the Mirage will now get killed by the Sava. Spoiler alert. Now I try to go for the Vihor with my Leclerc. Leclerc is aiming. Gets 1 shot off, but unfortunately this Vihor also has line of sight. I get out of line of sight of this Vihor. This one just shot, but when I'm behind the forest, he hasn't finished reloading yet. But yeah, the MiG-29 finishes my Leclerc off, and that's massive, really massive. I don't have a lot of infantry. My infantry is panicked, half dead partially, and only that one Leopard 1A4, which is also very close to death, and not a lot of points. I just bought for reservists. I just bought a napalm plane. Not looking good. So I'm just trying. I'm not sure if he knows that the Leclerc is dead, since he didn't kill it with his tanks. He must have looked at his model, but I'm hoping at this point that he thinks the Leclerc is still alive, and I'm trying to play moderately aggressive with the stuff I still have, to make it look like I still have the Leclerc, to make it look like I have actually more on the field than I do. But yeah, it's not really helping much, since I don't really have a lot of units to do that kind of stuff with. So yeah, Smokey was very helpful of him. The Milan 3 didn't really do much, and so I tried to retreat the Panzergrunts now, actually, in order to repair them and maybe save them, get into a position here before I get completely pushed out of Delta. I kept Golf. I bought a CV a little while earlier, tank CV, so that took a while to drive there. Milan 3 misses the Vihor. Would have done probably like 3 or 4 damage. Now there comes the plane train. Bomber again, which I believe I kill. Yeah, I kill. He kills my Roland, unfortunately, but that's not too big of a deal. The Super Gallop is ready again, so I'm pretty sure he thought the Leclerc was still alive, and he also bought an actual ASF of his own. Now I immediately bought another Leclerc, because with all the fire support and all the cheap infantry he has, I didn't think it was a good idea to invest either into medium tanks, because he has 2 AV horse, or into Legion 90 spam, in order to deal with the V-horse, because I would just get overwhelmed. So the first thing I bought was another Leclerc to just have something to hold him off. The LRM doing a nice job of panicking and stunning all that, so that should hold him off for a while. The 4-stack of reservists, unfortunately, while driving by, got hit by the bomber. Unfortunately, I will also lose this town, because I have nothing to defend against these Mechanisovana coming up. I'm engaging the L18 with the KWS a bit. It was a bit over. I think it wasn't the best idea to do that, but I did it anyways. I was hoping that maybe I can get a favorable trade there. But while I kill the L18, the KWS, I think. Oh no! Yeah, it actually does get out. So I got a bit lucky here. I gotta be very careful with the Leclerc here. I saw the Gallop. I know there's stuff coming up. I have to be very careful with the Leclerc. Have to retreat it and hope that doesn't lead to Super Gallop, which luckily shoots at the VAB and evac, so I won't see it for a while. I'm trying to maybe get like a couple of shots up on an M91A, or get like a 1 versus 1 where I just win because of my rate of fire. But yeah, as you can see, this is not a very best idea. Driving through smoke, which is full of infantry. And then Legion 90 will just get overwhelmed. And here I sideshot his M91AB here, which is really good for me, because now I'm like, alright, now I do have a chance of coming back. I lost to Leclerc in a bad way due to mismicroing, and then he just steamrolled me. Pushed me out. Now I at least have a Leclerc. We both have 1 super heavy on the field, and I'm taking +1, and he in return has delta control and more units on the field. So maybe I have a chance of coming back now. Tried to go for my Leclerc again with the Super Gallop, but just gets a Marder 1. The Leclerc, hang on. Yeah, it is showing side to the Mechanisovana, but they are panicked. And this is another Mechanisovana squad. This is another Mechanisovana squad. Vihor is not here at the moment, not enough side. But yeah, I'm very overextended with the Leclerc. The Leclerc at this point had line of sight on my on the Vihor and the other way around. Luckily, he doesn't finish me off, which is a bit surprising. I thought that maybe he would one-shot me. I was down to like 6 or 5 HP. But I managed to get into cover. I try to smoke pretty much everything here because I want to move reverse up in here because this is just way too close to the enemy, and just repair it up. I need to save this Leclerc. I need to kill the, or at least trade with the Vihor if I want to win this game. Because if I lose it without it getting any good value, then I'll lose the game. I'm already on the back foot, and losing the Leclerc now would not help at all. Even though I would have a third left, but as you can see, if I lose the Leclerc, he can just steamroll me. Which he could already now, but at least I have something that can potentially support my stuff. I bought a peace shrine, but unfortunately lose line of sight on the last second. Not that I would have... actually, I possibly could have killed it. He's down to 6 HP. No, I think he would have survived with 1 HP if I'm not wrong. But yeah, again, lose line of sight in the last second. But at least I get out alive, even though I'm damaged. I bought a million 3 for here, hoping that I could possibly sideshot some tanks there. This is also very valuable to still have there, just to know what's going on the side. I had the Legion 90 that I bought for here originally. I moved it back into T20, and moving it down back here because I need all the stuff I can for this side here. Buying more aim extends, and at this point I'm just trying to build up a defensive. Try to stall for as long as I can. Panic the stuff with the LRM, maybe even kill some infantry squads. Build a defensive up here, make him push and hopefully do some unfavorable trades. Or just lose units without even getting any kills out of them. And then possibly have a chance of coming back. But these are just, you know, me stupidly trying to get down in here with infantry with small cover, which is not quite working out, and I'm just losing stuff for no good reason. The aim extends here are doing some nice job, getting some nice line of sight there. I spot the Sava in here, and I believe I also kill it, although it might take a while. Milan 3 kills the T-55. It's the peace run. He moves up infantry in here, which is very bad for me. Leclerc is luckily up and running again. Brutal also my only AA at the moment that I had to rebuy. Leech 90 gets caught out in the open, which is very, very bad. I try to save it, and I think, yeah, I managed to, but... oh, maybe not. Proletariat 90. 2 Proletariat 90 squads. I'm a bit ballsy with the Leclerc here, retreating. I believe they still got some shots of him, if I'm not wrong. Mechanisovana moving up here, which makes me want to, yeah, moving up the MX-13 and dealing with those. MX-10 catching them out in the open, which is very good, and dealing some damage. LRM firing again. Again, I just want to stall. Hope he makes a mistake and then punish him for that mistake and push up. Get into Delta, and maybe even based upon the mistake he may make, just use the advantage and just roll over him instead, if it's a big mistake. But yeah, I'm just waiting for an opportunity at this point. The few small pushes I tried to make down there just didn't work, so I know I need to wait for a situation to open up and then try to abuse the mistake he did to the door he left open or whatever, and just, yeah, wreck him. So I'm building up a force, smarter ones, reservists as meat shields when I want to move down there. I think I also, yeah, bought a scout that I want to get in here and get some line of sight on all the stuff that is here, because the MX-10 don't have perfect line of sight, as you can see. They can't really spot down there. I'm not even sure if they can spot down there at all, and if they can, probably only like into this area. This everything they can't spot. The Gazelle cannon spots the P, but it is only very good, only good optics, and it's quite far away, so I can't really spot what's in those bushes here. And even here, there's probably still stuff alive. So yeah, just building stuff up. M84A in, which is very, very annoying. He's moving up in here. Just when I moved up my Leclerc into this area because I wanted to push down there, kills my stuff. The peace run misses with both missiles, and there's gonna be a very, very big moment where nearly you will see what I mean. So here's the M84AN, again lose sight very shortly before Super Gallup kills the MX13, not a big deal. What I basically want to do, that's what I meant. What I basically want to do is make the 84AN shoot at this stuff and the Leclerc hopefully killing the 84AN. What you just saw was the M84AN, most likely while reversing. That's the only way I can explain it. Because even at this short range, medium optics will spot the M84AN. But if it's shooting. But what most likely happened is the M84AN was reversing or moving into this area. Got line of sight of my Leclerc shortly before it was out of line of sight, and at the last moment when it had line of sight, it finished aiming, it finished turning the turret, got a shot off of my Leclerc, and my Leclerc was not able to get a shot back. And if that wasn't enough, there are Proletary 90 shooting at my Leclerc and hitting. And hitting again. And I was like, oh my god, I hope so much that this M84AN, which I spot now, is out of line of sight. Which it fortunately is at this point, so it shoots once at the reservice, and I can, thanks to the high off-road speed, get the Leclerc into cover. My heart really jumped so hard at this point. I was like hoping so much that my Leclerc just won't die. If the Leclerc died at this point, I would have lost. I'm pretty sure I would have lost the game. But now at this point, I still have a chance. He still has his M84AN though. He still must have lots of cheap stuff in there. Lots of Mechanism mana. He's still trying to push up here, which at this point is not going very well for him. I mean, yes, he's damaging my Leclerc, nearly killed it, but he's wasting quite a lot of points, I think, trying to push up here instead of maybe getting control of Ekor, maybe doing something in Golf, although he himself might not have a lot of stuff there. But yeah, here, this was very, very big. I got line of sight on this Vihor. I should have stopped earlier, but whatever. I think it must have been with the Commandos Para. Anyways, I got line of sight on this Vihor. Flew around with the Peace Rhine in this area. Got line of sight. Hoped I would hit and hit with both missiles. Got a side shot and killed his Super Heavy. Now he has an M84A here, and I believe he still has his M84A, and I have not killed it. So now is the point where now, okay, I have to make the push soon. He lost his Super Heavy, his second Super Heavy. There's a Peace Rhine going for the M84A, getting a side shot on it and killing it, getting out alive again. These Peace Rhines have really given me a good chance of coming back. He's smoking there, which makes me believe that he has the M84AN there. Just using reservists to catch the fire of the Proletary and making the Legion 90 and the VAB, finishing them off. The reservists here basically tell me, alright, he doesn't really have much here. He has Mechanism, maybe some IFVs, some APCs, but not much else. So I'm just moving up with my Mother Ones behind. The Leclerc is soon repaired. Mother One, unfortunately, gets picked up by the Palbranzi 90 here. My LRM is shooting in here, trying to snipe the CV in Delta because I want to buy time. I don't have a lot of time left, and I can't let him tick more because he's leading. Only 15 minutes left, and what I have to do is I have to get back into Delta, and I have to buy C for Delta, and I have to not just counter cap, I have to cap Delta completely. So I will have to kill his CV at some point, and I got a bit lucky here and kill his CV. He's buying a Sniper Salvo, which is very good, and I believe, yeah, now I also bought a Tiger. Although the Tiger is not doing too much here since he mostly has cheap stuff, so it wasn't really the best buy. Super Gallup coming in again. No, I don't have my KWS up. Landing my Tiger because I was thinking that maybe try to go for my Tiger here. It does have R60Ms after all. And which got one shot off on this Gallup, but even hitting, so I know, alright, this won't come for a while. Now I have a chance. Now I have the time window, the opportunity to move up with my Leclerc. And now I spot all this shit and I'm just not getting shot at, which is very, very good. Branzi moving up here, but luckily I'm able to spot them. Just using my hot tools too, I mean, I might as well just kill them in any ace. if I got nothing else to kill. I spotted M91 Vihor here for a while. Leopard 24 out in the open, just easily able to finish off these Falabranzi. Leclerc here, smoke wall behind in case there's an ATGM plane coming. K-Job, yes, very far out, but going for the L17 before it can go for my Tiger. Does get stunned by above 3 here, but the L17 is also panicked, down to 3 HP, so... But Paranzi 90 is still here, very annoying. But I have lots of reservists coming up, which should be able to deal with them. Now the Tiger again. This is, I believe, yeah, there's the M84AN from earlier. There's the Peace Run again. Buying more Leopard 104s because he buys a lot of M88s, and this is exactly what the M84, the Leopard 104 is supposed to kill. Shooting half a salvo on this building just to panic those Palapranzi. It's only one squad, but this one squad can do a lot of damage. So again, better safe than sorry, and still kills my 104 and wasn't really paying attention. Again, this is, I believe, yep, another L17K trying to kill my Tiger, and again I'm just landing it. Going for it with my Peace Run. I have very good gun. I have the Vulcan and I have decent sidewinders. And I'm even on hardens, so I hope that maybe I can do something. I am able to kill it together with the Crotale, but I believe, yeah, Peace Run gets killed. Again, reserves are pretty much perfect for this, just making them shoot at stuff that's not really worth killing and revealing it for my fire support. And now I have to strike. I have infantry here, I have reservists, I have fancy runs, Marder ones, Leclerc. And now I have to move up. There's the Vihor again. Peace Run coming up, Vihor only 18 armor, which is perfect. Perfect for the Peace Run, if it hits with both missiles. 18 armor is just the maximum amount of armor that the Peace Run can kill on full health. And I hit with both missiles. Again, quite a bit lucky here, I have to admit. And yeah, now I'm just moving up here. Casaipi here, just in case there's still something, and can also deal with the helicopter here and there maybe. He's I think now he realizes that he's on the back foot. I have lots of stuff here. I have Leopard 24s, I have a Leclerc, I have an Ace F up, I have quite some planes. I actually have air dominance, I would say, even though I only have one Crotale. He's now a bit desperate, I think, trying to move up here, securing this in hopes to get Echo and put a CV in there. I killed the Le Capirotta, which I don't fully realize, which is why I'll later buy some stuff in here just in case, because I will have to buy a CV, spoiler alert. Super Gallop again, but they don't have line of sight, and again not able to finish it off, but I believe I was able to get one hit. But yeah, now I'm just getting everything up. I bought a Leopard 1 CV because only 9 minutes left. I will have to have a +1 for quite a while, for like, I think like 3 minutes, so I can more or less comfortably still get a win. I think 2 minutes would more or less just be enough. 2 minutes of +1, which would get me 30 points to win, but still better safe than sorry. I kept Delta, get a +1 for short, but he himself puts a CV in there, which I just realized I had shortly line of sight on, so it's in there, but I was expecting it to be in here, but not like it matters at this point. More or less attack moving stuff here at this point. Just everything attack move. But a nice little crit with the reservice on this. Finish it off with the Peace Run. I have to admit, the Peace Run is really nice in 1 versus 1s. I did very much underestimate it, I think. Until I saw just Greyhound using it a lot, and it also made me use it a lot more. This is the game end. Let's just see for a second. I want to see what he had on the field. No, hang on. Alright, he doesn't really have a lot of here either, actually. Although he has above 3 MEDA. With a bit of luck and proper timing, I probably could have maybe killed the CV or get like in here, but without knowing what it's in there, it's very unlikely. A base defense, T55 CV, which I still think is a very bad CV. 1 top armor, like the Leopard 1 CV at least has, I get like Oh, no, now it works. At least there's 2 top armor, but 1 top armor, bad gun, bad speed. I mean, not like bad gun is really a thing, but bad speed, 1 top armor. I don't see it worth it. I'd rather pay like 5 points more so it can at least somewhat survive tube arty and bombers. But this will just die to bombers and heavy tube arty and even LRM possibly if I'm a bit lucky. I don't see this being very, very worth it. I think that if you want a slightly armored CV, you either go for the M84A, since he already has 3 cards of CV. He has infantry, the Jeep, and the T55. If you already get a 3rd card, then you might as well take something like the M84 or T72, or at the very least something like an APC, like the BRDM2 or something with 10 HP and 1 armor. But this is just, in my opinion, just bad. You want at least 2 top armor with your tank CV, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, he was really on his back foot. 2 Savas. I think I killed the 3rd one here. I think he had like 3 Savas at one point because of my peace runs. My peace runs did a lot of work. But yeah, this was really one of the most intense matches I've played in a long while. In the end, it is very one-sided, but I think up until the point where roughly where I put the CV in middle, I think it was more or less even. At the start, I may have been slightly ahead, and then once I lost the Leclerc, he just steamrolled over me. But I was just playing very defensively. While I did make mistakes, tried to push down with like Marder 1s and stuff, and lost units unnecessarily. I think I played fairly decently the defensive game. Try again, made him do mistakes. He was still very aggressive. He tried to push over my spawn. I guess he tried to. What he wanted to do is not allow me to recover, not allow me to build up a force, and just disrupt me every now and then with stuff with the M84AN, the Proletariat 90, which nearly worked by killing my Leclerc. But I think ultimately what he did, he was spending way too many points on doing stuff. I think I nearly always dealt with the stuff he pushed up in a more cost-efficient way. And of course, the peace runs killing the Vihor, the A Vihor, the normal Vihor, the M84A, the M84AN, the Sava just helped immensely, of course. I believe you can also, see the kill list. The LRM also did nice work, actually killing stuff. But the stunning thing was always nice. There's the other Leclerc. Killing 2 Vihors, yeah, A Vihor with the side shot was very important. I did get quite a bit lucky. But I have to say that I think I also, with the exception of the first Leclerc, and maybe the Leclerc against the M84AN, against the Super Gallop, I think my Leclerc micro was pretty good with the smoke. I think he never once was able to fire his 80 gems on my Leclerc, which I'm not trying to say, oh, look at how good I am. I'm just not confident. What's the word again? Content with how I did the defensive micro regarding the Super Gallop. And yeah, that sums it up. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, one of the most intense games I've played in quite a while. A lot more intense than the tournament games, I would say, that I played, because they've all been one-sided one way or another, I think. And yeah, that's it. I thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of these kind of replays. Like I said, I wish I would have recorded it either like live or just at least for retrospective analysis, but I did the best out of it. Let me know what you think. Whether I should maybe do it from the global point of view, so that I see both players' units, or only like this one, only mine. Yeah, see you next time.